I'm all set, yeah.
The other two main ones.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting conducted as a committee of the whole for City of Southfield for June the 20th, 2016. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Brightwell.
Here.
Mr. Fricassi.
Here.
Mrs. Morris. Here. Mr. Mandelbaum.
Here.
Ms. Seymour, in the background, but not here. Mr. Cruz is running a little bit late. Mr. Frazier,
Here.
you have 5 members present.
Thank you. First item of business is we're going to pull item number 1 for further information. So, cross that off. So, let's move into item number 2, which is the Southfield Police Department.
Forget about him. Oh, no.
Oh,
All right, good evening, council, mayor, members of the community. We're here this evening in the police department with 2 items. And the first item is seeking authorization to apply for a JAG grant, Justice Assistance Grant, to purchase tasers. And the second item is permission to purchase cameras for prisoner transport van and the animal warden's vehicle. And I have with me Sergeant Katie Schneider to go into the details of these items.
The first is the JAG grant that we're asking permission to apply for. We receive it every year. This year, we're being allocated the amount of $22,100, and we'd like to use that to purchase 22 tasers. The tasers are going to cost $33,753. That means we would be responsible for $11,653. In addition to the JAG program, there's another grant that's available to us for reimbursement of approximately $11,000, and that's through MMRMA. And we're also asking for permission to apply for that grant as a reimbursement. Are there any questions on the tasers?
anyone have any questions? Mr. Mandelbaum?
Is that enough? That's not enough for all the officers?
No, sir. We don't have enough funds allocated to purchase all new ones, but we have about 60 road officers. So what our plan is to purchase about 20 a year. So over the course of 3 years, they'll all have updated technology. Right now, the tasers are recommended to be replaced after 5 years by the manufacturer, and all of ours are approximately 8 years old. So after a few years of cycling this way, we should have everybody up to date.
Chair.
Yeah.
So what are the
Ms. Moore?
stats on that? How often do you use tasers annually?
Yeah, we typically we only use tasers when the level of, when we have to use the level of force that necessitates us to put our hands basically on a suspect. And we estimate that we may use a taser department wide, maybe 45 times annually.
Any other questions? Yeah, Mr.
With the ones that you said typical age of 8 years, the ones that are out there now.
Yes, sir.
Are they effective?
Yes, they are. There's no increased risk with using ones that are past the manufacturer's recommended replacement date. The only issue is they no longer can fix them. There's no warranty. They won't even look at it anymore, and we have the risk of them not working at all. Yeah, not firing for the officers.
Any other questions? Okay, this will be on our consent agenda for the regular meeting. All right, you have another one?
Yes, sir. New cameras, well, we don't have any cameras right now in our prisoner transport van, which is what we use to transport the prisoners back and forth from our lockup facilities to the county. So that's a priority. Recent events, we want to have that documented. And then also our animal control officer's truck doesn't have a camera in it, and we would like to place one in there. The cost for both of the systems together would be $11,493. And there's also a reimbursement grant for that through MMRMA that would reimburse us in the amount of $3,000.
Any questions? Mr. Mandelbaum?
This question is really for both of those grants. There's an additional grant through the MMR.
It's Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority.
How how confident or how often are we awarded those grants?
I would say we're pretty confident. With the camera one, there's a ceiling that's replenished, and I wanna say it's every 5 years, but I contacted them and they told us that we have all of that available to us. All of the funding that we used, it's expired now, so we're able to use all of the funding, and I think the max on it's 12,000, but it's replenished every 5 years, so right now we have all of that available to us. I also contacted them about the tasers, and right now they're offering a $500 per taser grant, and they were very confident when I talked to them about that. If we apply, that we will be reimbursed.
Any other questions? Okay, this will be on the consent agenda for a regular meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Next item is a authorization to contract for bus transportation service for Parks and Rec.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council, members of the audience. This is the story of the company that never really wanted to get paid, but the Parks and Recreation Department traditionally contracted with public schools to provide bus transportation services for seasonal and camp activity field trips. In 2008, the school system privatized its transportation services and conducted a rigorous selection process to identify a qualified service provider. Durham School Services was selected as the district's provider. The city piggybacked upon that arrangement. At the council meeting of June 20th, 2011, your honorable body approved a 2-year contract with Durham beginning July 1st, 2011 and ending in June 30th, 2012, with 2 1-year extensions ending in June 30th, 2014. All the extensions the city had exercised. Although the service levels provided by Durham were beyond reproach, there have been numerous issues over the months and years regarding the timely receipt of invoices from Durham to the city. Despite dozens of attempts by Parks and Recreation staff, including the recreation programmers and myself, to obtain current invoices for both 2014 and 2015 camp seasons, the city never received such bills to be processed. In January 2016, we were informed that Durham's general manager was no longer with the company and that a new management team was in place. What we are seeking recommendation from your honorable body is to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute an amendment extension agreement with Durham of Warrenville, Illinois. And it'll accomplish 2 purposes, encompassing the period July 1st, 2014 through September 30th, 2016. Permitting the city, 1, to have adequate transportation for the upcoming summer camp programs in the amount of $27,250, and 2, to pay the outstanding invoices incurred during the 2015 camp season in the amount of $8,750 due to the lack of timely billing on the part of the former management team of the contractor.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Perkowski?
did anybody try to reach him? I understand you did try to reach them and try to get an invoice?
On numerous attempts,
How
Mr.
do you
Perkowski.
work your budget? Do you carry the money over from year to year?
Correct. There'll be, the remaining expenses will hit the 15-16 budget, and we effectively had kind of a windfall in the 14-15 budget. There's traditionally budgeted Camp Tadpole, Evergreen, Wildwood, and therapeutic recreation programs, the $27,250 that's spread across those 4 buckets. And I've been dealing directly.
You think that the service be bad if you can't even bill properly?
You think so?
Well, I've been dealing directly with the new person. Her name is Stacy Bobzine, and she is a regional rep for this territory in Southfield, but she's in their home office back in Warrenville, Illinois.
Did it? Any other questions, Mr. Brightwell?
You confirm that the services is excellent above reproach?
Yes. They are the 500-pound gorilla in the industry. However, once we get through, if council allows us to proceed, we are going to put it out to bid this fall.
Okay, but you're saying that the service that you're getting
Is excellent.
We're getting
Yes,
excellent service. Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mandelbaum?
I see that the contract extension is going back to July 2014, but we only have an outstanding back invoice from 2015 of $87.50. Why is the amount so small and going back to 14 if we only have outstanding invoice from 2015?
I have been working diligently both with Lynn Roberts and Nikki Lumpkin to try to pay as many of the bills down once the new person, Ed Gallagher and Stacy Bozine, took John Mayo, the former GM's place, and we've been trying to whittle down bills to get down to that amount.
Okay.
Is it?
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay. This will appear on our consent agenda at the regular meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next item is authorization to purchase a replacement dump truck.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
Kevin Clark with the supervisor of our motor pool is here. The Department of Public Works is proposing to acquire a 2017 Freightliner Series M2 dump truck. Purchase amount of the truck is $80,312. And in addition, they're proposing to equip this vehicle with the dump box, watering tank, and uplifting of necessary components totaling an additional $80,026. The total purchase amount is $160,338. Mr. Clark is here to answer any questions if Your Honorable Bobby has any.
Are there any questions? All right. Mr. Clark gets a pass.
The next item, Mr. President, again is a piece of equipment for our Public Works group, proposing to acquire a 2016 John Deere 670 G Series road grader in the amount of $240,958 from AIS Construction Equipment out of New Hudson, Michigan. Again, Mr. Clark is here to answer any questions.
Are there any questions, council? Okay, nobody understands bus transportation, but they all understand dump trucks and graders. All right, this will also appear on our consent agenda at the regular meeting. Well, that was fast. A lot faster than I expected. We have two requests for communication.
Wait, we have one more.
You got one more?
Number 7.
Oh, I'm sorry, I crossed that off already. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
we have, yeah, we have two requests for communications, but you're gonna have to wait. Took the words out of my mouth. Go ahead, yes.
This is the item, authorization to apply for Pet Safe Bark for Your Park program grant for Bedford Woods Park. The Department of Parks and Recreation is seeking permission to apply to the Pet Safe Bark for Your say that 3 times fast, Bark for Your Park program grant to establish a dog park to be located potentially at Bedford Woods Park. Pet Safe is a large Fortune 500 company headquartered in Knoxville, Tennessee, largest manufacturer of electronic pet training products in the United States. Since the program's inception in 2011, the company has helped fund 19 parks, encouraging responsible pet ownership, helping provide dog parks that community members, civic leaders, and pet owners truly love, use, and support for years to come. In 2016, the company will more than double the number of dog parks funded through the program by increasing the number of grants from 5 to 25, and also provide assistance to communities that need help maintaining and improving pre-existing dog parks. So basically, what I'm looking for tonight is approval to apply for this grant in the amount of $25,000. It will be a combination of funds as well as a commercial grade dog park equipment from a company called Ultrasight, a Play Store company, and the winning communities will be announced over a 5-week period this coming August through September. And the deadline to submit the application is June 30th, 2016.
Any questions? Ms. Seymour?
What do you think our chances are?
You want to speak up?
What do you think our chances are?
I reviewed the grant process. It's pretty simple. However, I can't assess the chances. I think Bedford Woods is a possible ideal location for a dog park for this community. We are requested on occasion to establish one. We've looked at establishing 501c3s for dog parks, but we're going to give it our best shot, and I would hope that we would be able to succeed in obtaining the
It's
grant.
surrounded by homes, I mean, that's the place, right? So, do they know about this? They haven't been objecting? Do they know about it?
At this point in time, no. What I'm just looking for through the chair is permission to apply for the grant. Doesn't necessarily
Okay.
mean that we have to accept the grant,
Or that they'll
or that
want-
it'll be dog,
yeah.
or that the dog park will be, its final destination will be at Bedford Woods.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to know, because
Sure.
I mean, I've long history with that park, and some of the people don't like anything that goes on over there.
Right. No, I understand. Good point.
Okay, Mr. Perkowski.
What would you budget for a dog park? What would you budget for a dog park?
My
Do
own-
if you were to just
My
have
own,
one,
my
what
own
would the budget
personal
look like?
experience, and we discussed that at council presidents. It's one thing to actually get the funding to build it, an entirely different thing to maintain it. And then you get into how much the cost behind electronic fencing, potential revenue source for licensing the dogs, making sure they're vaccinated. But to specifically answer the question, if this is 25, for starters, at least $25,000 to $30,000 in matching funds to operate it successfully.
What would it take to maintain it? Who cleans up after the dogs?
We would do that in-house. But then you would have those little doggy bags, and it would be a more or less self-governing dog park. It would be swipe key technology that only the people that were appropriately licensed would have access to it. So it would prevent it from being a free-for-all. And then in terms of mowing it, that would be I foresee a park services duty.
Mr. Chairman, I just want it to be a grant that would pay for itself. I don't want somebody to offer me a carrot and then it costs more than we would need or have. That Parks and Rec budget is kind of slim to none.
That's one of the concerns that I had at the council president's meeting is, sometimes you get money to get something started, but the maintenance costs they'll eat it up. Because getting started is the easy part. Mr. Mandelbaum?
Is this, the grants get awarded this year, but is that to build a park next year? So if we get the grant and we decide we want to go ahead, we could potentially budget for it, but I still have those same concerns that Mr. Perkowski has about that amount of money being used for maintenance, and then maybe other items that may be more pressing or more wanted.
mean, I agree with that, but what Council President said, people have called and expressed an interest in dog park. I fully agree, coming from a numbers background, that, you know, you have to pick and choose, but in my opinion, it doesn't hurt to apply for the grant. And then there is also the possibility down the line, if this company or another company offers granting opportunities for the maintenance of parks moving forward, that's another possibility. You know, I wouldn't rest all my, you know, all my laurels or put all my eggs in one basket and assume that we're gonna get this grant or successive grants.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Zorn?
I'm gonna quick pass around just a couple aerial maps. This hasn't been measured out. A lot of communities on the maintenance part, in the pink area, there's the larger boxes, they're for the large dogs, small dogs. The scale on that, you probably have, you know, I think Mr. Block's near the budget I've seen from other communities on this at 30 to 40,000. You'll have fencing. That drawing abuts a masonry fence to the north, but you would have fencing to the south and the east and the west. You would carve out a smaller area for the small dogs, large. There'd be an area 10 by 10 that enters in. But most communities, you go into Parks and Rec or another part of the city designated, you pay an annual fee to offset the maintenance costs. We're currently cutting this grass and maintaining it. People sign an agreement that they'll agree to pick up their dog waste, and surprisingly, most people honor the pledge they make. Then the dog waste is deposited in special cans, and when Parks and Rec is out every morning in the summer and throughout the rest of the year emptying garbage cans, these would become other cans that they empty. We'd have things, waste containers, benches, signage, water supply, flat work within the entry area, and gates security. This came to our attention early last week, so we're fleshing up a budget. If we did receive the grant, we would come to council with a budget amendment. But I think this is something that would probably be done. I don't think we even need to wait until next construction season. This is something that could be mobilized quickly. So the capital